Hey guys, welcome to Bar Exam. I'm your host, Allie Rayner, and I'm here with my amazing co hosts, as always, Mr. Marcus TV and Mr. Eric G. Say hi, guys.
Yo,
What's
what
up,
up,
y'all?
what up?
So I hope that everyone had a really great week. Everyone feeling good? Everyone ready?
I'm
Yes?
ready.
All right, let's do
I'm
it.
good, I'm good.
Okay. So here at Bar Exam, we couldn't help but notice that lately there have been some pretty massive song leaks. And so we just had to decide, we had to like deep dive into it and take a look at it for ourselves. And honestly, it kind of sparked up this whole controversy about writers and rappers and who's really writing their fucking lyrics. So, coming before the bar exam today is Coi Leray's Blick Blick featuring Nicki Minaj. However, we're not just going to be looking at that version of the song. We're going to be looking at Lotto's version as well. So recently, or a few months ago, Lotto, the rapper, had this massive leak happen within her camp where 130 plus songs got leaked. And one of the songs was actually this song, Blick Blick, that I guess might have been a reference track or something like that. Maybe she decided to write a little bit on it. Who knows? But her version of it, of Blick Blick, also released and definitely had people confused as to whether or not Coi Leray is writing, is Nicki writing, is Lotto really the mastermind behind a ton of different songs? Is she a giant, ghost writer that we had no idea about? So that's why we're going to be taking a look at Blick Blick for this week. So I think it's really fair for us to start off by looking at the lyrics like we're supposed to, right? So we're going to look at Coi Leray's version first because I can't lie, at first I was thinking that this was just going to be something small, like maybe a line here or there that are similar, but I don't know. Like, you guys listen to it and you tell me if you guys notice like the similarities. So we're just going to do a small excerpt from Blick Blick. So let's start at where she says, yeah, want a bad bitch like me, keep on wishing, baby. Bust it open first, you gotta kiss it, baby. Yeah, you want another nigga, I go fishing, baby. Yeah, I never let these broke ass niggas fix me, baby. Yeah, I hop on top and ride that dick, he acting lazy. So I'll just stop right there. So that is Coi Leray's version, okay? Now listen to Lotto's version. Her version goes, yeah, want a bad bitch like me, keep on wishing, baby. Bust it open, first you gotta kiss it, baby. Make him sell his soul, this pussy different, baby. I can't let these broke ass niggas fix me, baby. Hop on top and ride that dick, he acting lazy. So, just from that excerpt alone, just from like that first verse from both of them, you can see that there's major, major similarities. Like the whole first line of "Yeah, I want a bad bitch," that's the same. Later, when she says "hop on top and ride that dick," he acting lazy. Like both of them say that one. So I don't know. I can't lie. Even later, like even further down, if you look, like Coy says something about like, yeah, I call him Big Daddy, he called me Little Baby, and in Lotto's version, she says the exact same thing. So there's more than just a couple, similarities. Like these are whole lines that are completely the same. So what do you guys think? Like Marcus and Eric, what do you guys think? Do you think this shows that like these rappers really are not rapping? Like, does this make you look at Coi Leray differently? What do you,
I
what do you guys
mean,
think?
say her name again, because I
Coi
want to say
Leray?
it. Yeah. Kite,
Koi. Koi.
Koi,
Boy.
Koi,
Ray.
Leray,
Yeah.
Koi, a.k.a. Benzino daughter.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to make sure I got the right paper.
Yeah. That's the same.
And let's just take the simplest path, right? Who
Okay.
do we know? Benzino, his daughter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then we know Lotto from the rap game
Mm-hmm.
and Jermaine Dupri. And one thing we know about that Jermaine Dupri and Lotto in the rap, and she was early on in the rap game, that he was very, get your pen together and make sure you can write, you know, you to survive on that show, you really had to have he was looking for the next big thing. And I don't mean big thing in terms of gimmick, but the next to represent the culture. You know, it was almost too big of a show for what he was looking for.
Mhm.
Uh, I believe Lotto's pen more than I believe Benzino's daughter.
Okay.
I I really believe her pen game is that strong. I think that she could be ghostwriting, giving reference tracks, writing, this is what you need to do. This is a hit. But it sounds more, and look at the longevity of it. Lotto is still relevant without these songs dropping off of what? Her bars.
Yeah.
Her bar, nobody's checking for Bia, who's another leak track,
Yeah.
nobody's checking
Yeah.
for Benzino's daughter. There's not
You don't think so? I feel as though the both of them had some hot ass moments. Like
no.
Koi blew up off of TikTok, and then Bia had her moment with a whole lot of money. That's why we were all, I think, mostly shocked that that ended up being one of the reference tracks that got leaked.
I'm dating myself, but I'm remembered of Eddie Murphy. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
And this game is the rap and music is a thing of waves. It's waves in, it's waves out. It's who's hot now, who's the. No, I'm not excited to hear. I won't even say that because you already know we have that little counter. If it's a remix, I'm not excited to hear Coil Ray on a track. Oh my god,
No.
you got Coy? What? Who, really? You
I
got
mean, I would
Coy?
be excited if she came in with some crazy bars, but now I feel like all I'm gonna think of is like, did you even really fucking write this? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think that's what's gonna be on a lot of people's minds. Do you
yeah,
guys think that's fair?
yeah, because Lotto's pen is already legendary. We believe if okay, right or wrong, let's just say Lotto did write these, right?
Hmm.
And it came out that Lotto was the ghostwriter. We like, well, that's in line with what we know about Lotto.
Yeah.
Let's just say Lotto was offered these tracks and then passed for whatever reason, but they were still sent to studio execs, A&Rs, and all that. Hey, Lotto passed on this, but she said it's cool if you use it like this, and we just kick her some on the back end. We believe that too.
Mm.
If any one of these artists came out with these similar bars, we was like, okay, that's hot. Now we're looking for a follow up, and they can't produce it.
Mm. Yeah.
Lotto's not Lotto's the is the constant in this equation, not the obscure. Because it's two female rappers who have I ain't gonna say tremendously different styles, but there's still enough of a gap to where they're not similar artists where like you could see either one and just plug and play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Eric, what do you think? Like, does this make you kind of look at Koi or even Lotto a little bit differently now, hearing that all of these were like reference tracks, or maybe that there was like a collaboration with the ghostwriter? Does it make you look at them differently as rappers?
We've seen this movie before, time and time again. We've seen it before. Whether it's been the Quentin Miller situation with Drake,
Mm,
um, there's been leaked songs of it's a different genre but still the same thing, of Party Next Door doing reference tracks for Rihanna before a lot of those Rihanna songs came out. So we've seen this movie before where references get leaked and we can judge based off of that reference. And to me, just based off hearing both records, this was a clear pass off to me.
mm,
I mean, from everything that you said, from how she raps the first half of that verse, Coi Leray basically says the exact same thing,
right?
minus just a few tweaks here and there. So to me, that's a clear pass off. And if it was for over 100 songs that leaked, then I fully 100% believe that Lotto is probably penning a lot of stuff for a lot of people that we don't know about. I
I mean,
100% believe that.
I sort of kind of believe it. So the thing about this whole situation for me, I can't lie, it makes me look at all of them a little bit differently because I feel as though I see how much more, like how much they use their ghostwriters. You know, like I feel as though now I'm going to be thinking like I feel like I love Lotto because of her pen. And so now I'm going to be like listening to her and I'm going to be thinking like, did the ghostwriter write this or did she write this? Or, you know, I can't even lie. Even with Nicki Minaj being on the track, like, you know, when she actually decided to do this song with Koi, she literally, there's a quote somewhere where she said that the only reason that she really wanted to do the song with Koi was because she liked Koi's energy or whatever, and that she's trendy. But then also she said that she she believes or she knows that Koi writes her own lyrics. And
Mm.
yeah, and so now I'm like, that didn't age well. Like, what
So
do
it
you
didn't.
mean you just know that she writes her own lyrics? Because that's not the case. Like, you can tell that this song, like, I mean, we just did like the first verse, right? Like, there's a lot in here that is almost identical. So it also kind of makes me look at Nicki and that whole argument that her and Lotto had about the ghostwriter and who's writing what or whatever. And it kind of just make me look at Nicki a little bit and be like, are you really out here using a lot more ghostwriters than we think? Like, you know, she really prides herself on using her pen. What do you guys think? Do you think she's also using these ghostwriters?
Yes, and I also believe. Let's look at the circumstance too. What
Hmm.
happened? Her hard drive got leaked. She had 172 songs, if I'm not mistaken, that got leaked. Why is she recording 172 reference tracks if she's not going to be on there? You ain't got nothing better to do, Lotto. You're not
Hmm.
you're not shopping these songs and you're not writing them. Why? What? Why are you having studio sessions and why are you recording this? Why is this on a drive? Why is this saved for later?
Right.
What sense would it make for her to do any of this post and not do all of this pre?
Mm.
Like that, it just walk me through that business mindset. What sense does it make for her to have 100 to have this leak happen for Lotto later this at this stage in her game in her business? Why would she even be a song been out? Why would she have a track to it? And oh, I heard what they said on it. Let me rap it this way so I can mixtape it and then not release it.
Right.
Fit on it.
The other thing is that the song is old. It's 8 months old,
Hmm.
so it's been out. So that leans even more into your theory, because because it wouldn't just leak now out of nowhere if if there was a plan behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think that you guys have a point. I mean, yeah, I think that we're definitely seeing that, like we were saying, Lotto has a really fucking strong pen. And we see that, like, maybe possibly she's behind the scenes and actually writing for a lot of people. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I think it just makes me kind of question the whole rap game. You know, it just makes me question when people like Nikki say like, "Oh, I only work with people because I know that they write," and then to find out she ain't writing. You know, it just makes me feel
Yes.
like it's just all a game, just all a ploy. Like maybe they're all, you know, or a lot of them are using a lot more ghostwriters than they're letting on. And I
Well,
think it makes sense. I mean, isn't it a big deal? Like back in the day, wasn't it a big deal? Like to have someone say that you used a ghostwriter? Like, do you guys think that nowadays it's kind of like whatever, like it's just a
it's
everyday type of thing?
it's been more frowned upon back in the day than what it is now. You
Yeah.
know,
So
there
should we really expect it now, you think?
absolutely, and then also we've also been chipping away at it for so long. You will
Yeah.
say we'll just say the greats. We'll say the top five. Everybody says Biggie and Tupac, Nas, Jay-Z,
Mm-hmm.
and Eminem. So those are quintessentially some in whatever order you want to put them in. Everyone's top five, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't write, but then okay, well then you go to the next graph from 5 through 10. Well, who didn't write then? And well, he wrote a little bit, but not all of this. And we've just been chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping away. Then that way you had Drake and the Quinn Mitter who didn't write, and you're like, oh, but Drake's still hot and he performed it. And Plies really rapped it, but he was talking about his brother. Dolph didn't really rap. Like, it's all of this. We've
Mm.
been chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping away at that Ghostwriter is acceptable. The mainstream respectable ghostwriter from back in the day was Skills with the year in wrap up, who actually signed real NDAs that he couldn't release who he
Oh,
worked for. That was he didn't make all that money from no year end wrap up. Let's
really?
let's let's not and you haven't heard a wrap up in a minute, but let's not act like and he was a known ghostwriter. Like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, he just didn't make it and he fell off. No, he was known to shop and write. He was a ghostwriter. Who did he write for? Couldn't tell you. Can't tell you. His hard drive never got leaked. It was a different time, different era. So he was a known ghost. So I can't sit, and that was the game, and that was the industry. So no, I'm not gonna sit there and say that it's more acceptable. It's your preference. It's really your preference.
Yeah,
The other
that's
thing
true.
too, to piggyback off that too, is that we've become so desensitized to it now. Like back in the day, it was a big deal if someone found out about the ghostwriters because nobody was talking about it. Now it's still a little more on the hush hush, but we find out about this a lot faster nowadays. And we don't put into account how much that Quentin Miller and Drake situation really um, set back the whole ghostwriting conversation because at that point, people were arguing in Drake's favor, saying
Mhm.
that it didn't matter that those were references because of Drake they made the songs better. That was
Oh,
a
okay.
real argument. I remember that
And,
when
That's
that
true.
first happened. Like
and
people
didn't
were
50
dead
come
set
out?
on that.
Didn't 50 come out and even say he wrote games higher, and he wrote something for Diddy,
No
and he wrote
way.
it was three songs he said in that little clip or something. He was like, yeah, I wrote the games higher. I wrote this for Diddy, and then I wrote something else. And
He
let's not also, when I mentioned Diddy is a known to have ghostwriter because the best line of Diddy's career, pictures of Christopher all up in my condo. Jody Breeze wrote that. Let's
No
not forget
no
way.
Jody
way.
Breeze wrote that verse. Jody Breeze wrote that, and that's one of Puff's hardest verses ever. And we know for a fact Jody Breeze wrote that
Wow.
without question. He wrote it
Yeah.
for Puff, but uh,
It wasn't his pen. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't him. And
Royce used to write for Diddy too.
see, there you go.
No way. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I think that it's kind of like this whole smoke and mirrors. I think that people want to believe that their favorite rapper is not using a ghostwriter or having, their favorite rapper write them something, but I think the reality
Yeah.
is that we're going to see it more and more, especially with these leaks happening. So like we touched
Yeah.
on it a little bit about Lotto having the hard drive missing or had gotten stolen, I'm sorry, but I also noticed that there's like a lot of other leaks that have been happening lately, and I don't know if is it a technology thing or is it just like maybe because of the time, like you were saying, Marcus, like maybe people are just not like bound to a code like they used to be back in the day or something because it's getting a little bit out of hand. So recently, Young Nudie, like I guess 172 of his songs got leaked. Gunna and Thug, like they both had around like 20 songs of theirs leaked. And then honestly, in history, there have been some pretty notorious leaks that I didn't even realize ended up being a thing. So, like, for example, 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying album apparently got leaked before it ever even hit shelves. I had no clue. And I feel like it didn't stop his momentum. But I think that people would have maybe looked at it different if it was like it came out that he wasn't the one writing a lot of it. So, do you guys think that we're just going to be seeing more and more of this where it's like we're going to be seeing a lot of leaks and it has to do because of the times Or is it just because of how technology is nowadays and it's easy to just steal someone's hard drive? What do you guys think?
It's going to keep happening as long as streaming is a thing. It's going to keep happening because what happens a lot of times is that the album gets sent into streaming services or the websites that need to upload to the streaming services. They have to turn those albums in early all the time. So no matter, as long as that system is still in play, albums are going to keep leaking. It's just a fact of how it is because what happens a lot of times also is that they'll shop it around to other producers that have produced on the album, maybe a few features that are on the album that they might have a copy of it. And then the other thing is that there's like different versions of the album that get made. There's rough drafts, there's edits that get made, and then there's the final version that actually gets sent in. So as long as that process is still in place the way it is right now, it's gonna keep happening. Because with physical CDs no longer being the primary source of how we consume music, it's all coming from the internet. And again, if we continue on this model where the music is sent in early to the streaming platforms, and then people keep ripping the music from the streaming platforms before it's even officially available, then it's going to keep happening.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how that affects people's bottom line though, because it does seem like like 50 Cent, that's probably one of his best selling albums ever. I think also they said that Kanye West College Dropout was leaked. I guess there was actually a few different versions of the song All Falls Down on there, and then there was also a couple songs that he ended up not even putting on the album that people got to hear, just never actually get fully finished. Um, Even like the Eminem used I guess his album The Eminem Show got leaked as well, like before it even hit sales. But they said that he ended up still doing amazing in sales. It really didn't affect him. But do you think nowadays if people have a leak, do you think it's really going to affect their sales or their streaming, or do you think it just kind of like adds to the whole rap game? Because I feel as though some songs we've noticed get leaked and the artist never had any intention at all of dropping them, but then they go crazy, they go viral on TikTok or whatever, and the artist is like, well, screw it, let me go ahead and finish that song. So do you think people are gonna like probably play with it more, or do you think it's actually a very big problem and it probably should stop because it's going to affect the bottom line?
I don't know if it's more so of a problem because I think it's the times and technology. You know, if I want to work with a producer in the on the East Coast now, I don't have to fly to New York. I can just shoot you the link. I can have you come back, drop your bars. I can plug and play. I don't have to actually work in a session with you to put you on a track. And as long as that's what COVID taught us, technology. As long as music is convenient, where I don't have to actually go. You don't have to go to Florida to work with Khaled. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
go. I don't have to go to these physically go to these places, and these drives are just stationary. If I'm trying, that we talking about ghost writers. Let's not also forget ghost producing too. So
Hmm.
that's
Mhm.
for a
That's a
whole
thing.
other. That's a whole letter. That's a Is that a thing? Of
Oh
course.
yeah.
I did not know that. I didn't know there was a such thing as ghost
So
producers.
if I make a beat right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it's a hot beat. Dre somehow, for whatever reason, hears this same beat. Who is Mr. Marcus Beats? Nobody. But if Dre was like, "Oh, bro, I like this. Let me get it for 100,000."
What?
No, hold on. Yeah, I'm like, all right, Dre, let me get it. I don't even know if that number's right, but let me get it. Whatever, 50,000. I'm like, oh yeah, it's one beat, but you got to say it's mine. Oh, that's fine. He tweaks the drums or then sells it for $1 million. Am I mad? Or he sells it for 100,000 or 300K. Am I mad?
It's a
I
great
don't. I
question.
get yes and no, because I mean you made money and you
Yeah,
probably
An
wouldn't have made
example
the
of
same
this
amount that he would have made off of it.
an example
So
of this is DJ Quick allegedly made in the club instead of Dr. Dre.
I've heard that rumor.
What?
Yeah,
I've never heard that. I've never heard
I,
that before.
so I've heard that because Quick said he said five, he said about five, he said a while ago that I'm on the same level as Dr. Dre. And people was like, what? And then people was like, no, if you really go back, he is. But it was one of those, it's not really shock value in what he's saying. He's just not as known. So
Yeah.
it's one of those, I can't sell a beat for 300K right now.
Yeah.
For no one's gonna give. But if you say, "Oh, that's Dr. Dre," and he like, "Oh yeah, I like that number 4." Yeah, I fuck with number 4. And you're like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's my." He knows that it came from dude from St. Louis. No one else does.
That's crazy. I had no clue. So yeah, I feel like the whole game is like smoke and mirrors. Like I don't even
Yeah.
understand why we're still hiding it. Like why do we hide it? Is it because people are too prideful? Does it actually affect the game somehow? Like if we all find out that who these actual ghostwriters are, like does it mess up the game, the whole smoke and mirrors of it for people? You
Yeah,
think that's why?
yeah,
Because the thing is that even though earlier I said that the Quentin Miller and Drake thing really put a big damage on how people view ghostwriters,
Yeah.
it's still not 100% fully accepted. You know what I'm
Right?
saying?
no,
It
Like,
seems like
it's still
some
not a
artists
thing
care and
where
some don't.
we've just been like, oh, okay, this is fine now. Like, it's more acceptable, but it's not fully accepted yet.
Got you. Okay. I mean, that's fair. Yeah. So I think that you're right. I think that we'll see it continuing to happen, and then maybe that door will continue to open. The whole. We'll see what's happening behind the curtains. I think that's what's really going to happen. So, okay. So we are diving into song leaks. So right now we got to dive into Swear to Tell the Truth, the whole truth, so help you lyric gods. And so I decided to try and keep on theme with the whole song leaks that we're talking about. And actually, I wanted to kind of take a look at Kanye West's Falls Down, because I found out that was actually one of the songs that got leaked for him, which I was actually super surprised. I guess there's another version of this song that I haven't heard yet, but I guess people got to enjoy it, and then he went back and tweaked it. But I can't lie. So growing up, I chose this song because growing up, you sing songs and you think you understand what they mean. And I feel as though growing up, I didn't fully comprehend what the hell he was talking about. Like it's like actually super embarrassing how long it took me to realize that when he says the part, so when he says, I can't even pronounce nothing past that Versace, it is embarrassing how long. Like, I did not know what the fuck he was talking about, but I'm pretty sure now he's talking about Versace. I did not know that for the longest, which is just so sad. And then also, I didn't understand this line either growing up. The part where he says, "Cause they made us hate ourselves and love they wealth. That's why Shorty's hollering, where the ball is at? Drug dealer buy Jordans, crackhead buy crack, and a white man get paid off of all of that." So back then, I did not like comprehend what he meant. I think that he's basically saying that you know, a white company owns Jordan, even though you think you're buying from Michael Jordan, really you're buying from Nike. Same thing when it comes to like the whole crackhead buys crack. Like, yeah, you might be buying from the neighborhood dealer or whatever, but if you get locked the fuck up, who gets paid? The white man. Or if you get sick or something like that off of the crack or whatever, you end up in the hospital, end up in rehab or whatever, who gets paid for that? More than likely, a white guy who owns it. So I can't lie. That was definitely one for me that I realized growing up, like, yeah, this hits home. It's very true. And sometimes I kind of wish this version of Kanye, I miss that version of Kanye a lot. So that's why I chose this song. But Eric, what song did you decide to choose?
All right, so I picked Prostitute by Lil Wayne, and this was on the many, many different versions of the Carter 3 that ended up leaking, which I will also get to in just a second because yeah, that album leaked a lot. But I picked this song because I'm pretty sure that this was like the first time that like someone had just outright used the word prostitute in a rap song like this, especially like, and this was when Lil Wayne was like switching up his style like crazy, so he was floating in and out of the auto tune parts. But yeah, I chose this because the hook, I thought it was like a love letter the whole time, not knowing the whole time that he's that he's just talking about prostitutes and not caring and falling in love with one and not caring if she ended up fucking a bunch of dudes and he still wanted that one girl, and apparently it was rumored to be about Karine Steffens back in the day. So
I can't lie. That's the first thing that I thought of. I was like, Superhead?
yeah.
I can't lie.
Yeah, so this was I was definitely growing up like in like middle school and shit for the first time figuring out what a lot of these words meant and shit like that. So and this was like around the time where like Lil Wayne was becoming my favorite rapper, like at period. Like nobody was bar none, like nobody was better than him at the time. But also I wanted to bring this particular, not even just song, but like the Wayne era of this time, because that was the biggest leak ever to me of the Carter 3 leaking, like the original album version that we actually ended up getting, because that leaked like 3 weeks before the official version even came out. And I remember being in high school and seeing a bunch of my friends, and I had never seen no shit like this before. A bunch of my friends with a bunch of blank CDs with Lil Wayne Carter 3 leak written on it, and selling them shits like hotcakes in the middle of high school.
Selling them
for like $5-10. Yeah, because it was like 2-3 weeks before the shit even came out. And everybody
Lollipop on that
shit. Everybody. And the craziest part about it was that the Carter 3 different versions of this album leaked before, and they were just called different mixtapes. Like there was a whole series called The Drought Is Over, and it was just 7 different versions of Lil Wayne's Carter 3. But his album kept leaked so many times that he was never able to catch up to it. So eventually he finally did, and even when that final version still leaked, he was like, fuck it, at this point we gotta rock with that, because like this has happened to me like 7-8 times. Like what the fuck I'm gonna do? Like he had re-recorded his album that many times around that era, which was between I think like 2006 and 2009, some crazy shit like that. But yeah, that was why I picked that, because that was a very, very crazy time during the leak era in rap, was when Lil shit was getting leaked.
Wasn't Lollipop on that album?
Lollipop was on there. A Millie was on there.
Leaked. Lollipop was a leak.
It got leaked. I had no clue that album leaked.
Lollipop was a leak. Millie was on Squad Up. I did hear, but that could have been a leak too, because I remember the Squad Up of Millie, because it wasn't cleared, and that was a lot of things.
There are like 4 different versions of a Millie before the final version.
No way. I had no clue.
Easy.
3 versions of a Millie. Yeah, there's 3 different versions of a Millie.
Do you guys, was that around the LimeWire time? Do you think that's why?
Oh yeah. I was on LimeWire, Napster,
Airshare, all of that.
Yeah, man. I was so mad with my hard drive with everything, because then you was mad when people would tag something like Lil Wayne the Carter 3, and then it would be like their own shit. You'd be like, man, I just downloaded this shit. I'm like, what is this?
God, that used to be the worst. Oh,
that was the original Rickroll.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna throw mine away, because you said something and you touched on someone. You said Karine Steffens and Superhead, and this was the same. This is not it's not a leak, if you will, but it was more of a mystery. And I actually read that book.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God, I read that book. Like I actually read that book, and she named every fucking body she worked with, including Wayne. Wayne looked out for me. And she had this one person in this book. I think she called him Papa or Dad. I don't know what she called him, that she didn't name.
Hmm.
Didn't say who he was. You know, he looked up, but she would not name him. Interview after interview after interview would not name him. Wasn't until years later we found out it was Method Man. Of
What?
all people, that was one I could not believe. It was like that was, and this was Method Man when you really thought he was just kind of how high Method Man. You didn't think he
Yeah.
was that like why you didn't put him in. This was before Power, before the acting career. This is before all of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was one I couldn't believe. Could
I
not
did not
believe.
know that either. Damn, fucking Superhead should have been a fucking rapper herself. Honestly, the type of shit she probably would have wrote and like blown all of our minds. I mean, that would have been amazing. She could have saved the book and just done album after album after album. Because I would have fucking listened to hear the gossip. Shit, that's crazy though. I had no clue. I had no clue. Well, thanks for that mystery, Marcus.
That's the mystery of
But now, guys, we got to finish it up. We got to do it the only way that we know how. We have to finish that rhyme. So basically, me and Marcus are going to team up. We're going to try and put our heads together while Eric starts us off with a nice ass lyric, good, whatever it is that he's going to throw our way. And we're going to try and finish the verse for him. So let's see. Eric, you ready?
I am.
All
I'm
right.
gonna get.
Mystery acapella.
I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice this week. I'm gonna give you guys a little hint.
Okay.
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 Now the hint is this is a leak, but it ended up being officially on an album, and it came out in 2010. That is the hint.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go. One hand in the air if you don't really care. Two hands in the air if you don't really care. It's like that sometimes. I mean ridiculous. It's like that sometimes. This shit ridiculous. One hand in the air if you don't really care. Middle finger in the air if you don't really care. It's like that sometimes, man. Ridiculous. Life can sometimes be ridiculous. I'm so appalled. Spalding, balding, Donald Trump taking dollars from y'all. Baby, you're fired, your girlfriend higher. But if you don't mind, I'ma keep you on call. We above the law, we don't give a fuck about y'all. I got dogs that'll chew a fucking hole through the wall. But since they all love us, I need more rubbers. And if I don't use rubbers, need more covers.
I have no clue. Marcus?
I think I said this earlier.
What's that?
You may
No.
have. You may have.
It's not higher.
No. But it's
No.
from that artist though.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a gang track. That's why I was like,
Is it?
Yeah,
I did not know.
Wait, did you say game?
not like G Unit 56. Like it's a
Oh no. You're thinking too
Okay.
old. No.
okay. No, I'm thinking. Okay, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Think,
I'm lost.
okay. I'm gonna wrap it one more time. I'm gonna wrap the refrain with it too. Think about the refrain.
Okay.
It's two different people.
Okay, so okay.
Okay. All right. One hand in the air if you don't really care. Two hands in the air if you don't really care. It's like that sometimes. I mean ridiculous. It's like that sometimes. This shit ridiculous. One hand in the air if you don't really care. Middle finger in the air if you don't really care. It's like that sometimes, man. Ridiculous. Like can be sometimes ridiculous. I'm so appalled. Spalding, balding. Donald Trump taking dollars from y'all. Baby, you're fired. Your girlfriend hired. But if you don't mind, I'ma keep you on call. We above the law. We don't give a fuck about y'all. I got dogs that'll chew a fucking hole through the wall. But since they y'all lovers, I need more rubbers. And if I don't use rubbers, need more covers. Housekeeping, I mean, goddamn, let it be a bad bitch sweeping. No?
I am
Nothing.
fucking lost, bro.
Nothing.
So Appalled by Kanye West.
Okay, I was like, I feel like it's Kanye, but I don't know the song. I don't know how I don't know this song though. What do you remember? What album that's from?
One
Yeah,
hand.
this is from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So
Ah,
this
that's why.
was another major leak. This whole album, matter of fact.
No way.
This whole album leaks. This
No.
whole album leaks. A few different versions of it leak actually. Because this song, when I first heard this song, there was like a unfinished version with like the unfinished beat, and then when we heard it on the album, it sounded like basically totally different. And there were new features on it. Like Rizzo wasn't on it before, Rizzo was on it this time. Pretty sure same thing with Sci the Prince. So, and if you guys remember, right before that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy run, the Good Friday leaks. Remember, every Friday Kanye was dropping a new
So
Good
I don't
Friday
think those
song
was
with
leaked.
everybody basically
I,
on Good Music at the time.
yeah, I
This
don't
was
think
one of
those.
those songs.
I
No.
think those are orchestrated. I don't think those were leaks because they came out every Friday at like 2. It
Yeah,
was
so
like
that has to
they
be.
came. Yeah, they came out all at the same time. I remember the Good Friday leaks, but they were
Yeah.
all that was also systematic. I don't think they were leaks.
What? I
I don't.
also did you guys ever consider any of the ones that were happening like recently? Did you guys think any of the ones that like the lotto, like 130? Do you think that was intentional or do you think it
No.
was just
No, no.
no?
When if anything more than 50 songs leaks from an artist, I automatically assume their hard drive got ran through.
No
Yeah.
way. Okay. So maybe if it's like one here and there, that might be a little bit more orchestrated. Might be like they're just trying to see and test the water to see if it actually is going to be a good song. But the other
Right.
one, if it's huge, it's like, come on now. Like
Yeah.
nobody really wants to just give away 130 songs.
Well, also you got to think about it like this: people record 4 albums, and they record hundreds of songs for albums, and then they trim the fat, and then we're ended up left with whatever 15 they ended up deciding was the best.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So a lot of that can be the case too.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Well, that's so cool. Who knew? I'm definitely learning something new on this episode. I did not realize how many like infamous leaks that there were. I mean, yeah, we hit on a lot of them honestly, and I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna see a difference. I don't think so. I think that after our conversation, we all are kind of under the consensus that the leaks are here to stay, and watch out for that pen game. Pay attention to who's really writing their shit and who's not. Just because it might, I don't know, it might end up changing your opinion on your favorite rapper. I think that for sure for me, it made me look at some of my favorite rappers a little bit differently. But I still respect the pen game for sure. I definitely still respect the verses and the lyrics and all that kind of stuff. So that's just my take on it. Do you guys have any final thoughts on the whole song leaks conversation?
I agree.
Yeah, I do
I
too.
think as long as technology is where it is, you know, I'm always fascinated by like people who speak shit into existence. And I remember the Steve Jobs movie and when he talked about the iPod and this will be how people consume music in 20 years. And then just think of the transition from iPod to iTunes into where we are with streaming services and platforms now. So, yeah, I think you can, as long as technology is going to be there, music is going to be listened and digested digitally now. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I guess we just have to get comfortable with song leaks or maybe try and figure out a better system or something. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe artists can start to,
Shit, can
you
you even
know,
buy an album
evolve.
now?
You can
Can
buy it
you?
off iTunes and the platforms like that still sell music, like Amazon and whatnot. Like you can still buy it from there. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, you can't even buy an album if you wanted to.
I think Target still sells physical albums.
Wow.
I'm
To
pretty
play
sure
on
Look
what?
Target
at
still
that.
sells physical albums.
I can't say. I think one of the last times I did see a physical CD was in Target. I can't lie. I think it was like a Taylor Swift CD or some shit like that.
And what car
So
has a fucking CD player?
yeah, I'm like, who the fuck has a CD player
Yeah,
for me?
that's the thing.
Shit, I'm over here mad at cars because I'm in rentals. I'm like, if they ain't got wireless CarPlay, I'm mad.
Yeah, for real.
No,
I
for
don't
real.
blame you.
That's
But
so
all right,
true.
guys, that's our show. This is Bar Exam. I hope that you guys really, really liked it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.